3, 2012, another 40. So that potential is there for something to change. Something's going to come to an end on that day, and there will be change. But there aren't good numbers or bad numbers. What it is energy we've come here to express, and we have a choice. Yeah. On the second day of creation, God divided. That implicated, when he says he divides the light from the darkness, that was before he made the sun and the moon and the earth. That all came on the fourth day. Okay. So this light and darkness that was separated is spiritual light, it's truth, and it's wisdom. And we have a choice, because it was divided, to walk in the light or choose the dark side. If you think of it that way, the story of Star Wars had a very strong spiritual message to all of us. It's a choice that we make, same as the 666. The 144000. I've been sharing the upbeat and positive side, but let's take the number 1. If it's underbalanced, the underbalanced number 1 is wishy-washy and doesn't want to lead. If it's balanced, the balanced number 1 is an example for others, and people seek them out for leadership. If it's an overbalanced number 1, you've got an egotistical braggart who only cares about themselves. But it's the same number. It's the same energy. We get to choose how we express it.
When it comes to prophets that predict dates and such of events, when those things don't come true, they always have sort of an out, and that is, people prayed and changed God, so they're never really held accountable for that. Craig, have you ever missed a number completely and said, "Whoops"? I mean, or do you feel like?
Well, that's the beauty of numerology. I think that's why I love math instead of English. English was very subjective. I after E, unless there's a C. There was always an exception. But with the numbers don't lie, and the answers are always there. We start with the answers. The number 1 is leadership. 2 is cooperation. So, you can't really miss a number. It's there. So that's the beauty of it. The number 1 is always number 1. It always means leadership. How the individual chooses to express the quality of that number is a little thing called free will, which we all have.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now the Beatles had a one of their famous records was Revolution number 9, and they kept saying number 9. What were they saying some hidden message with that number?
Yes, they were. The Beatles were all about universal love. And the number 9, as we spoke of earlier, about the 666 or the 1, the 14, the 144,000. The number 9 is a symbol for humanity, selfless giving. When we count, we go from 0, which is God, up to the number 9, and that's it. All the other numbers are made up of 0 through 9. An 11 is 2 ones. A 31 is a 3 and a 1. There's nothing new after the 9. So the number 9 is the ultimate. The number 9, which symbolizes selfless giving without thought of return, philanthropy, uplifting humanity, looking out for your fellow man regardless of race, creed, religion, or financial status. That is the highest love vibration we can express in the flesh. And by repeating that 9, they were helping to move the planet toward that selfless love, thinking in terms of world peace, world unity. That's where it's all headed. We're all headed to that number 9.
I'm just wondering now. I have to go back and look. I wonder if John Lennon was shot on, say, a 9-day or something like that. Is numerology sort of like the Bible code in any way? Have you checked numbers in the Bible? In the Bible code, do you believe that number exists at all?
Yes, definitely. In fact, many of the stories in the Bible are designed to teach us about numbers. For example, a favorite number story is the 6 vats of water. Why 6? Why not 5, as you put it earlier? Why not 70? Why not 69?
Yeah, right.
But the 6, that story, if we examine that story, it tells us about the number 6. For your listeners out there, those are people born on the 6th, 15th, or 24th of any month. Let's examine that story. First of all, it was at a wedding. It was a wedding feast. So 6s love their families and being around holidays, tradition, and if you're born the 6th, 15th, or 24th, you're going to have more of a challenge fighting the battle of the bulge than the rest of us, okay?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a healthy appetite if you're a number 6.
Right.
Let's take a closer look. He was asked to do it by his mom. It wasn't his party, it was someone else's party. So his first miracle was to do something for someone else. So if you're born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th, you will put others ahead of yourself. You'll put the needs of others ahead of your own. Very loving, giving. This is a maternal type energy. Finally, he rescues the party. Back in those days, if people weren't getting stoned, you might get stoned. They were very upset because the wine was running out. So when he turned the 6 baths of water into wine and people tasted it and said, oh my goodness, this is better than the first wine. Because back in those days, it was a practice to get you drunk and then bring out the vinegar just to clear out the vats. So they said, this wine is sweeter than the first, and the guy became a hero. So Jesus rescued him. So if you're a 6, you're also a rescuer. You're here to rescue people in need. You're going to have a great career as a social worker, a teacher, a counselor, a nurturer, someone that works as an emergency technician out in the ambulance. You're a rescuer. So that story, great story, but if you really study it, is telling us about the spiritual qualities and the type of experiences you're going to have if you're a number 6.
Okay. All right, Craig, it's been a lot of fun talking about numbers with you. I'll give you one more chance then to talk about your website if you want to, and if you want to do a quick recap, then you go right ahead.
Okay, I sure will, Dan. I appreciate the opportunity, first of all, to be a guest on your show, to walk on the edge. I appreciate it. And those who are interested can check out my website at www.craigiewright.com. I am running a special for the listeners of The Edge. If you order a 6-month forecast, I'm throwing in another 6 months for free.
All right. Craig Wright, thank you so much for coming on the program. Can we have you on again sometime?
Oh, yes, it was great fun. I appreciate it.
Hey, by the way, before we let you go, did you get questions you've never fielded on any other show?
Yes, I did. You really took me to the edge there.
All right, sir. All right. So thanks so much for coming on the program.
Okay, thank you.
You have been listening to The Edge with Daniel Ott. To subscribe to The Edge newsletter, log on to theedgeam.com. That's theedgeam.com, where you can find out more about the guests and topics discussed on the air. The Edge is being brought to you by Internet Solutions, home of affordable website design and low-cost Internet access. Visit Internet Solutions at es4.com. That's es4.com. Until next week, for the Edge Radio broadcast, I'm Chris Moore. See you on the Edge.
News on the USA Radio Network is next.